Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today while I create this rock look or stone look gel print using foam stamps and stencils from PM Artist Studio. This is the stencil called Sponge Skin by Fran Baker from Fran on the Edge. And these are various stamps from other PM Artist designers that have sort of a grunge or a carving look. And I'm actually not going to start with the stencil first. The first thing I'm going to do is get some darker paint, starting with Bone Black, which is a transparent paint. And I'm going to be using two Distress Style stamps, 1 and 2, starting with number 1, which is a rectangular shape. Both were designed by me. And I'm just going to stamp it around the plate in various places, twisting and turning it as I go. Just making sort of a random pattern here and there. The dark marks will show first on the gel print, and then we'll add other colors behind it. And now I'm getting some black flash from Faux. It's a color shift paint, which is a black kind of gold iridescent paint. And I'm using the second Distress Style stamp. This is a more round shape. Again, just putting it here and there. And then I'm going to take a brayer and lightly go over what I just stamped just to tone it down and get rid of the sharp edges. I don't want absolute distinct designs. I just want marks to be present on the plate. And after I let that dry for a bit, I'm going to go in with some cream color and a light gray from Deco Art. It's called Morning Mist. And I'll be using them together at the same time. I put them on the smaller gel plate to the side so that as I brayer through them, they mix and blend, and I won't get any of those sort of circle oval dots that you get sometimes when you put paint directly on the plate, especially since I tend to just go in all different directions with this kind of technique. Speaking of, this technique is called the shadow technique. And that was named by Patricia of PM Artist Studio. This is where you just wipe the paint through the stencil. In various places, you're picking it up, moving it around. And as you go, it's not only putting paint down, it's also picking up what's already there because it's still wet. So it's creating more saturated areas and less saturated areas at the same time. And it's making a really pretty mottled effect. You're not getting any sharp edges with this. And I'll be adding more colors too. I will go ahead and speed this next part up and put some music on for you. The first layer has dried for a bit now, and I'm going to add some more color. This is burnt umber, and I'll be just repeating this process and let you watch. Now the initial layers are dry. I'm going to go in with some raw umber, and after that will be Liquitex gray. And I'm going to be swiping these on here and there without the stencil. This will give it some darker areas, some more shadows and shading, and mix the colors a bit more. And I'll see you after that. So these initial layers have dried, and this is just a scrap piece of paper I used to clean off my smaller plate over there. And this is what we've got. My plate, because it's older and a little stained, makes this look more yellow than it will when we actually pull the print. But it's looking very nice and mottled, and dark spots and shadows and stuff here and there. I think it will make a nice base for stamping on. I'm using the same Liquitex gray for my final pull layer of this print, and we'll see what we get. And again, thank you for coming and watching. I do appreciate it. Being a new YouTuber, perhaps you would leave me some comments. Let me know you enjoyed it, what you liked and didn't like. I'm always looking for tips on how I could improve. But I do appreciate you coming and spending time here. So here's the print. Again, it looks more yellow than it will when I pull it. But it has a nice textured look, some dark, some light. I think it's going to make a nice base layer to do some stamping on. And here it is. I went ahead and pulled the print. And then I forgot to record when I used this stamp on the surface to get even some darker marks on top. This is Carrie Griffith's Bubble Wrap Stamp Style 2. And I used it with some dark brown to add some dots to the front. You can see them here. And you'll notice the print is a lot more gray than what we saw when it was on the plate before we pulled it. And that's why I was saying when my plate is discolored, sometimes what you think you're going to get is not exactly what you get when you pull it. But I'm used to that now, so I can kind of expect it. I'm going to start with using the Golden Paints Micaceous Iron Oxide and the DecoArt Americana Zinc Gray to give me a nice gray kind of stone look. I decided to start with some of the Taino stamps from Eddie Makes Art to make sort of a totem pole-esque-ish kind of design on one edge of the print. I thought maybe I could cut that out and make a neat tag or a bookmark or something with some of the stamps stacked up, and then the rest of it just all around. And continuing on with stamping, I decided to use some darker gray, which is an Americana color in zinc, and the Color Shift Black Flash to give me some darker grays to the next group of stamps. And I'm also using this second sheet on the left that has a little more brown in it that I had in my stash. I might as well, since I have the stamps and the paint out, get a 2-for-1 kind of deal. And then I clipped out some of the stamping parts because you don't need to watch me stamp for 15 minutes because that's no fun. And here I've got a lot more stamping done on the sheet, pretty much covered it. And then I'm going to show a picture again of the stamps. You can take a screenshot or pause video and take a look. These are all stamps from Eddie Makes Art, Carrie Griffiths, Joan Marone, Estella Banks, and Fran Baker. And if they have YouTube channels, I will definitely link them below. You can go check out their channels. So here is pretty much the finished page, both of them. So you can take a look. I think these would make some fun journal pages for your junk journals and such, or tear apart, use for collage, make some tags, postcards, all that stuff that you would use gel prints for, and just a different kind of look. So thanks for coming, and don't forget to leave a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you later. Bye.